Hey Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Captain Clyde's MTG. And today we have a very important topic which people have asked me about a lot and I've got a lot of comments on. I thought I should go over it one last time. How to tell apart your foils from what kind of foil they are, and are they a special foil card. We'll do a little walkthrough history all the way up to the present. Now, as the more sets come out, this video gets older. It's going to be anybody for themselves, but I will make a few comments and suggestions moving forward of what to be looking out for when you get these new kinds of cards. So, don't forget to subscribe. Talking to you. Yeah, right there. Button, corner, push it. Still trying to get to 1,000 peeps. So, let's get going. So, we'll first start off with our traditional foils that we are always interested in and are so used to. These kind of cards here. Very easy to see which one's foil. Shiny, not shiny. You'll also notice here at the bottom, they are the same number. The difference is one is shiny, one is not. This foil actually doesn't warp very much, but anyway, I'm kind of shocked by that. So anyway, these are the traditional foils that we were used to, and we've had in Magic for a long time once we actually started getting foils. Which eventually turned into Pringles and so forth and so on. But anyway, moving on, these are the foils that we will have classically. Sometimes this is referred to as a rainbow foil. I don't know why, probably because it looks like all colors of the rainbow. Hell, who knows? But these are your two basic card types. Now, as we go through history, what happened next was we came up with the etched foil. So then what we had is we had two kinds of cards. They were both foil. One was etching, one was regular. And the biggest problem with this is it is almost impossible to tell the difference between these two. Unless you do this. Notice. A little warping. Notice how the etched foil doesn't warp. Now that's not a guarantee. If you play with some cards, you're going to see some warping. So the best thing I can tell you, for example, is on a traditional foil like this from Modern Horizons, you can see it does have the rainbow, but it looks very smooth. It gets smooth. Cool Whip. Anyway, it looks really smooth. So compare that to the look of this etched foil. Notice how it looks kind of rough. Looks like it's gritty. Has like almost texture to it, which I think is kind of cool and I actually like. Other ways to do it is see there how that little star symbol goes from silver to black. If you try looking at it a regular foil that way, you don't get that. It always stays shiny. So this was our first venture into some new kinds of foils. A lot of this was triggered by Flesh and Blood with their cold foils and Wizards trying to come up with something to not really copy, but compete with that kind of environment. Now, the problem with this is both these foil lands have the same card number, which means it's really up to debate if you don't know what you're talking about and two people can't agree on anything on which one is which. Even though this is your etched, see the grittiness, and this would be your normal foil, nice and smooth. But again, the problem is that people don't understand what they're looking for, so forth and so on. Someone can get ripped off, someone could rip somebody off. And luckily, somewhere in the food chain of this giant debacle over these etched foils, somebody at Wizards pulled their head out of their butt and said, hey guys, I've got an idea. And that idea was to change the number for every card. So, moving forward into the current or present, what we have with All for One, we currently have three foil types. We have your basic foil, which is shiny and pretty. Then we have the same kind of card here. You can see here it's got the little Phyrexian symbols on it all through it. This is a stepped and complete edition foil. And as always, the great thing now, if you look, the regular foil is 315. And the extra foil is 458. So they have their own card number, making them very easily distinguishable between each other. if for some reason you can't see that on there or have questions or whatever the case may be. So, a lot of the later printings have had this, thank God. So my suggestion to you moving forward as we get these new cards with these new foils, the first thing I would always check is to see if there's a different card number. You could check TCG, you could check Goldfish or whatever. They'll have a listing for each type of card and the card number. See if the numbers are different. If the numbers are different, that will guarantee you getting the right kind of card. Now, with that said, make sure it still looks the same and be careful because people still do struggle with trying to distinguish these when they list them online and stuff. Me, when I list these kind of cards on my eBay store, I list them as a foil and I list the number. So if you want this in a step complete edition, make sure you look for the foil and then know the step completion is the 458 version. So that is probably the best way you won't get hosed or bait and switched or whatever. Now, with that said, there's a lot of people out there who are confused or stores that are lazy or have people who are newer to the game who don't understand the difference. It's not their fault they can't get this right, but they do need to be a little more careful with it, and it will cause you as a seller and or buyer especially a lot of problem and confusion between the two. Now, the last type of foil we have is this kind of foil here. This is from the Phyrexia All-Will-Be-One kit. Camera, sorry, reaching over there. That little bad boy right here, the completed bundle. This is a completed oil-slicked raised foil, only available in the bundle. And another good thing about that is luckily all the art is different. Plus, again, different numbers. So, these numbers are different than what you would regularly see, and the art is different, so that does help as well. It's hard to confuse this for a different card when the art is different. But if you were to look at it otherwise, you can see a little light on there. Notice how you can see how parts of the card, even though it's all foil, parts of the card appear to be raised, and you can even feel that it's raised. It's very subtle, but you can feel it. If you go through here, you can feel the lines and ridges between the words in the boxes. So yeah, so there you go. And that is the difference between that as what's considered an oil slick raised card. Again, backs of the cards are the same. It does pringle up pretty good like most of the other cards do. Didn't really check these two. Well, as you can see here, these two are also pringled up pretty well. But not as bad as they used to, so that's a bonus. But again, that's why I really miss these foil etched cards. I do like the way they look, and the fact that they stay flat, and put it all in one word for you like the Southerns. The fact that it stays flat regardless, is very nice. So it's less prone to warping. Unlike these two have been kept in the same place. And as you can see, this one has a warp on it when the other one doesn't. As though it may be subtle, it's still just naturally going to happen. So moving forward, I hope that helps you guys with how to distinguish which cards are which and which foils are which. And hopefully moving forward, Wizards will continue to change the number on every type of foil so that we don't get these cards mixed up in the future like we have in the past. And I think that's the direction they're going, and I hope they stay that course. If something changes, I'll make sure to let you guys know. But moving forward, I think that will actually help solve this problem. But from Modern Horizons and back, Commander Legends and so forth, where these etched foils first came out, there's a lot of confusion there, and there will be forever to try to figure out which is which. Since the card numbers are the same, pictures the same, you really have to be able to just tell by looking at it what the difference is. See there? So keep that in mind. Hopefully they keep this up. I hope this helped you guys out a lot and gave you some information and educated you a little bit on what you should be looking for when you buy your products or sell your cards. So Don't forget, you want to support the channel, subscribing is the best way. Those who have, thank you guys a lot. If you want to do more, links in the description. And as always, till next time, be kind. I hope to see you, little fella, across from the game table. Later, player.